Hello everyone, in this video I have some points I wanted to cover for StarCraft 2 co-op missions, and these points are what I think StarCraft 2 co-op missions need to survive and also to grow. So I just want to say before I get into these points, I absolutely love StarCraft 2 co-op missions. They're super fun and there's a lot of things that you can do on these co-op missions. There's a lot of different possibilities right now, lots of different strategies that you can try. It's pretty easy to get into a group with your friends, or one friend at a time that is, and it's really easy to find a random player. So far there's a ton of good stuff with it. The weekly mutations are really fantastic, but there's a lot of things that I think could be improved, and I think if they do some of these points, it could really help grow the co-op missions. Because, you know, right now I think co-op missions are pretty darn popular in StarCraft 2. And I also think they're one of the things, or one of the main things that's actually drawing a lot of players to StarCraft 2 still is the co-op missions. You know, multiplayer is really popular for StarCraft 2, but co-op missions are pretty dang popular now too. So, being so popular, it can only last so long though. And, you know, that's the same thing with everything. Everything can only last so long. But there's only 13 commanders with StarCraft 2 right now. And there could be so much more potential if they keep on adding more commanders a little bit more consistently. You know, every now and then they add a commander, and then like a month later they add another commander. Then every now and then I've noticed we wait like 4 months for a new commander. It's just there's not an even flow of, or an even income of new commanders. They don't really, I don't know if they have a set schedule. Maybe they do have a set schedule, but it just doesn't seem like there's enough new for there to be lots of player interest consistently. So what I think they need to do is maybe start having new commanders come out once every single month. And I know that may sound like a lot for us as players, but no, actually I think that's just about right. Because, for example, I play a commander and I get everything done, get to level 15, get all the mastery skill points, try out a bunch of different strategies, and by the end of the month, I mean, I've already tried out all the strategies. I've played with pretty much almost every single other commander there is. I mean, given that we have 12 other at 13 commanders now, there's 12 other commanders that I could have played with, as Dahaka being the newest commander. And yeah, a month was actually about all I needed to cover everything. And, you know, after that, people want something new already, and the interest kind of wanes. But if you constantly have a new commander, not only are you every single month being able to try something new, but every single month you're adding so many more possibilities. Sorry about that. Every single commander, you just increase different strategies, so many different things you can try. So when we started out with the original 6 commanders, right, you could try out Raynor and then a different strategy with Raynor, with Kerrigan, Artanis, blah blah blah. Well, you add another commander, then there's all these different possibilities with Raynor and Karax all of a sudden, and then Karax has all these possibilities with all these other commanders. Well, you add all these extra commanders. Every single one of those commanders have a different potential strategy with every single one of the commanders that were already created. So it just, the opportunities really grow, if you get what I'm trying to say. So to step this point a little bit further, if you look at League of Legends, now I know League of Legends is completely different than StarCraft, but it isn't. They have what are they called? I'm trying to look for the right word here. They have heroes. I'm not exactly sure if it's called heroes or commanders or what. Champions. There we go. Yeah, they have champions. So they have 134 champions that they can use. 134 champions. Does anyone understand how ridiculous that is? That is why that game is so popular. It's not just the concept of what you're doing in that game. It's the fact that they have 134 different champions. There are so many different strategies that you can use with 134 different champions. Imagine having 134 different commanders on StarCraft 2 co-op mission. So this little box right here, it'd start here and go all the way down to here. This whole area would be commander selection. There would be endless strategies. Literally, if you did the math, if you did the math for just co-op missions, it would be a huge number of possibilities. And, you know, I honestly don't know off the top of my head the number, but I could definitely plug a guess in to, if I was using like a formula out of my engineering book where you plug in to a probability formula, you would have a number in like the billions for strategies with 134 different commanders. It's literally insane. That's why that game is so popular still, and I'm very convinced on this. And, you know, just to step it a little bit further, once again, that game has one map. I don't play that game very often, but I have friends that play that game, and they literally know this fact too. It has one map, but there's 134 different characters that you can play with 4 other different people on your team, and then there's 5 people that you play against. But yeah, one map. They every now and then, I believe, have like a month-long thing where you can play a different map, or maybe it's a little bit longer than that. But just one map is the primary map that everyone plays on. For years and years, over and over, people play on this one map. But because there are so many commanders, or champions that is, it just draws so much fun because everyone constantly thinks of new things to do, and there's new opportunities, there's new things that they can unlock. So it would just be great if StarCraft at least started coming out with a new commander once a month. I know that's something that will be difficult for people actually working at StarCraft, or at Blizzard that is, people who are on the StarCraft 2 co-op mission team. I know that's really difficult because that probably means a lot more hours of work, but I think it's something that's pretty important for co-op missions, especially if they want it to keep on growing. So, you know, expanding onto this monthly growth, I think it's really, really important if they do not charge $5 for a new commander every single month. I think that they should make the commanders free. I have enough money to keep on purchasing the new commander every single month. I have enough money. I could afford that. And I've bought all these other commanders, obviously, because you can see that I have them all at level 15 with all the mastery skill points, kind of like template around each one of their images. But the thing is, it's just that really it turns people off. People don't want to buy the new commander if it's $5. It's just like, how much fun am I going to get out of this? If you think about it, it took me about 8 hours to level up this character to level 15. 8 hours. Then after that, if you already mastery level 90, you don't have any purpose to keep on grinding. So you play maybe a couple extra matches, so like another hour or two. So about 10 hours on each commander. And yeah, that seems like a pretty darn good deal, $5 for 10 hours of gameplay. But when you're talking about a video game where people already paid money to buy the video game, they don't want to spend extra money to play something for only another 10 hours when they've probably put in over hundreds of hours on the game entirely. And an extra 10 hours for $5, that just doesn't do much for players. So by doing that, I mean, Legacy of the Void already has less numbers than Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty had. And by making these commanders $5 per pop, you're reducing the numbers of people playing the co-op missions. They did it right. When Karax came out, Karax was free. You just installed your update, and then boom, you had Karax. And it was so popular. It was crazy. So many people were playing Karax right away. And then Abathur came out, and it was pretty popular, but I think it lost interest. Alarak, they did some pretty good advertising. That one blew up. Nova was pretty popular. Stukov, I think, was somewhat popular. Phoenix was decently popular, and I don't actually know how popular Dahaka was. I think he was, once again, decently popular, but it's just, it wasn't as popular as I remember Karax being because Karax was free. And just every single commander they keep on charging, less and less people are going to have that commander. That's the way I see it. And, to me, that's just less and less people overall playing co-op missions because they've already capped out the original 6 or 7 commanders, that is. The original 6 commanders plus the additional free commander, which is Karax. They've already capped those out. And a lot of them just don't want to keep on spending money. The way people see it is they think that StarCraft 2 is just trying to be greedy. You know what I mean? They're trying to suck money out of the players, and they aren't trying to keep on giving the players more for their enjoyment. And I know they have to keep on making money if they want to keep on producing stuff, but at the same time, it's just like it's not the right way to do it. I just know making these new commanders $5 a pop, I mean, isn't the right way to do it. They should be making them free. Increasing the price for the commanders, that's definitely the wrong way to go. If anything, at least cut the price in half to make it $250. I know they won't be making much, but at the same time, it's at least a little bit more affordable for players. But I definitely think they should be making these commanders free if they want to see growth. Because I think co-op missions can definitely be the most popular thing on StarCraft. I most definitely think that. I think so many more people would buy Legacy of the Void if there was like 30 more, well, let's say 20 more additional commanders to start with on co-op mission. That's a huge thing that they could advertise. I feel like that would draw in a ton of people. So many strategies, but they're not at that point right now. Okay, something else I wanted to cover was the mastery skill points in here. So every single commander, once you get to mastery level 90, that's it, right? Get to mastery level 90, and you can only put in 30 points for power set 1, 30 points for power set 2, 30 points for power set 3, right? Well, for a lot of people who play the game, I notice a lot of people are at mastery level 90 or above now, and that's why they added these additional levels, right? So you can get additional mastery levels, but they're not doing anything for you except for a number. All that does is bragging rights to say that you've played the game more than your friend. And I mean, it also signifies how much mastery that you actually have on the game, which is good. I mean, if you hop into a game and you see someone that has 150 mastery level, you're going to be pretty confident that you're going to win the match. It's going to give you a little morale boost. But it's not that fun to just grind out levels that only mean a number. It just really doesn't add that much more benefit. So what I'm trying to get at is I think they need to expand the skill tree a little bit more. Maybe it would be beneficial to not necessarily give more points for these power sets because that, these power sets just add some more balance, but maybe add an additional 3 power sets like right over here. So you got power set 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. So levels 90 through 180, you get an additional, mastery skill points. And I'm going to step this up a little bit further. Yes, that's going to make Brutal a lot easier, but I think that Brutal for a lot of people is way too easy. So I think that they need to add another difficulty setting, like maybe Extreme or something like that. I mean, if you go into, let's see here, custom matches, and you go into Melee, create a match. I'm just going to show you what I mean here. If you create a match, you can add an AI, and you got elite difficulty. Well, if you scroll down, they have cheater vision, cheater level 1, which is vision, 2, which is resources, and then 3, which is insane, which has all of these. There's the 3 extra difficulty levels right here. And you don't really see people playing against these levels because these are really, really hard. But I think they need to do something like that for co-op mission. They need to add extra difficulty setting. At least 1, maybe 2. That's just for the basic co-op missions. And then with that, maybe people won't be able to beat it at level 15 without mastery skill points. Maybe they will be able to beat the next difficulty if they're really good players with mastery level 90. But if they want to beat it with ease or beat the 6th difficulty setting, like if you add an additional one beyond extreme, like extra extreme, if they want to beat that, they have to get to the mastery level 180, so they have those extra mastery skill points. And I think that would just add so much more strategies too. So not only are you giving players something else to keep grinding for, you're adding longevity to the game, you're giving players to try, with the current commander setup, you're giving them so many more strategies to test out. You know, it would be just crazy. It'd be very, very fun, I think, just to have more to grind after Mastery Level 90. Now, that for hardcore gamers who want to keep on just playing StarCraft nonstop over and over, that would be great for them. For people who don't play co-op mission as often or who aren't as good, they still have these original difficulties. You still have casual, normal, hard, and brutal, and you still have the original skill points. So it wouldn't be harming players who wanted to play the game only not very frequently. And the other thing is, players who don't play the game very frequently, they can master in just one commander. That's the really great setup that they have with StarCraft right now. If they don't have enough time to play all the commanders, they could get to that mastery level 180, and they could get to level 15 and master just one commander. They could do that. But I'm just saying, like, it would be beneficial to everyone, not just the end game players. It'd be beneficial to the beginning players and the end game players if they just added more skill points, I think, and more skill points to be unlocked after mastery level 90. So I think that would be a huge benefit, and adding on those 2 extra difficulties, so like extreme and then like extra extreme. I think that would be really good. Maybe that might be difficult for some people's computers to handle. I can understand that, but there are other ways to make the game more difficult. Maybe on extreme, you keep the same amount of enemies, but you reduce the amount of resource income on the mineral lines and the Vespene geysers. That could be something that you do. Maybe on extra extreme, you reduce those resource income, and then you do add some extra players, but not very many extra. I don't know, something along those lines. I think that'd be great. Now, adding on to this wasn't my regular point. This is something that I saw from a video that the Overmind had posted in one of his rants, and I thought it was a really good point. So go check out the Overmind. That's the Overmind with the 0. He just stated something about these mutations becoming too easy. Now, I definitely think some of these mutations are ridiculous still. They're really hard, but I will give, props to the Overmind, because he's right. Like, for example, this mutation I didn't think was all that hard. There's only 3 mutations, and they just constantly post that, and brutal difficulty is the hardest you can get on them. So I think what they should do for those higher end gamers, at least, just to add more longevity to the game, is spice it up a bit. Add 4 or maybe 5 mutators, and then with that, don't do that for everyone. Do the 3 mutators as your base still, and you can beat it on brutal difficulty for that 185,000 possible bonus experience. But give higher end gamers the option for the 4th or the 5th mutator. Let them, if they can do 4 mutators on this is every single week they should do this. If they can do 4 mutators, then they should get like, a possible 220,000 base experience. That doesn't include all the bonus and the bonus experience, the base experience you get from just being a co-op mission and everything. That's just according to these bounty rewards right here. That should be another bounty on top of it. So like below brutal, say brutal plus 4 mutators. Then that should be like a bonus of 90,000 bonus experience or something. So that'd be way beyond 200,000 bonus experience. I'm just saying, I think that'd be a good idea. And then if they can do 5, another huge amount above that. Just because adding that 1 extra mutator or that 2nd mutator, that's so much more difficult. And that would really draw a lot of attention, I think. So that would be huge. And I think the Overmind had a really great point when he was suggesting that. Now, I know you can do it in custom mutators, but the thing is, if you do custom mutators, they've got a really poor setup right now. First of all, you can't find a random player to join into your party, which I think they need to fix. I know you can, I have a lot of friends, but not everyone has a lot of friends. And I know you have these chat channels, but not everyone's in those chat channels. I think they need to do it like these mutations. You should just click play custom mutator, and it'll find you a party. From there, you can build your custom mutation. I think that's what they need to do. Second of all, I think that they need to allow more than your base 40,000 experience. If you get the bonus objective, it's 44,000 experience. I think they need to allow more than that base 44,000 experience for beating a custom mutation. Like, what? If you do 3 mutations, and you only are getting 44,000 experience, you're not getting any bonus experience. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even make people want to really try it out. I know there's some people who just like to experiment, but I think they should at least add some experience. So, and there's ways that they could prevent, abusing this. Like if you only put one mutator on, you shouldn't get that 44,000 experience. You should get a reduced amount. If you do 2 mutators, you should get, a little bit better. 3 mutators, a little bit better. 4 mutators, a little bit better. And then I think something else that they should do is, it'd be really cool if they did this, honestly. They could put an experience amount on every single, like a percentage amount on every single mutator. So some mutators are more difficult than others, and some are easier than others. So maybe they could put an experience bonus that you get by putting that mutator on. I think that would just be crazy awesome. And maybe they could weigh things combined together, like some mutators combined with other mutators make them a little bit harder to deal with. So there could be an experience bonus there. I know, once again, that would be a lot of work to try and figure out, but I think that would be absolutely fantastic. Just my thoughts on that. Okay, and then let's see here. Back in mutations, adding on to this custom mutation point. When you're doing the weekly mutation, you get this bonus, and then that's it. That doesn't really give anyone any want to keep on playing the mutation, unless you're a YouTuber and you're doing walkthroughs for every single commander. Regular players, they beat the mutation once, at least what I've seen, and then they don't really want to keep on playing the mutation because you only get 44,000 experience like a regular co-op mission for playing this. That's it. Because it's not a random mission. You're playing on the same exact mission over and over. And it's way harder than a regular co-op mission, so why would people want to keep playing it? So maybe they could just give it like an extra, after you beat it once, if you beat it on Brutal again, maybe you get like an additional 20,000 bonus experience. So it'd be 64,000 every single time instead of 44,000. I definitely think people would continuously be playing the mutations a lot more then. And also, once again, drawing a lot more attention. Okay, next point. This wasn't very balanced, but I thought it was something that was really cool, and it could be a lot of fun. I think, maybe not as serious as the ranked ladder, but I think they should bring like a for fun, like they should add an extra tab here and do competitive right here. When they brought that competitive mutation to StarCraft co-op missions, everyone was crazy about that. They were having so much fun. I'm not 100% sure. I think you might be able to access it in the custom mutators, but the thing is, I think they should make it something where you can just click the ready button and then join in with a random player on a random co-op mission. And the difficulty doesn't matter, of course, but yeah, join in with a random player and a random co-op mission just by clicking on a tab and then being able to choose your commander and skill points, and then just join in with a random player and then compete against them. I think that'd be really cool. And then even like put a little bit of a ladder system up there, and then you could have like tabs for which commander does best as Swan, which commander does best as Kerrigan, which commander does best as Dahaka. Then you could have the overall best commander. Like I think I remember Raynor was probably the most overpowered commander because of being able to call in the Hyperion and the whatever they're called, the fly down units. Ares? No, it wasn't Ares. Anyways, I can't remember off the top of my head, but anyways, Duskwings, that's what they're called. Being able to call down those commanders made him like one of the most overpowered commanders. So anyways, you could have a leaderboard for each individual commander and then an overall leaderboard, and then you could compete with all these players. I think that would be super fun, and I think that would alone be another thing that would draw in a ton of people to co-op missions. Just another idea I'm throwing out there. Okay, so I think I've covered pretty much everything. Oh, nope, one more thing. Last point, I forgot about this point. So, last thing I want to say is we have a decent amount of co-op missions right now, but once again, they need to come out with one of these like once per month, I think. At this moment, I think we need like 10 more co-op missions, like just as a base to start from, and then do like one co-op mission per month. We don't have enough co-op missions. Yeah, I know we get one we get co-op missions. I don't know. I think we get one pretty much every time a new commander comes out. But they need more co-op missions. Once you play Metal Warfare a couple times, or play Chain of Ascension, Scythe of Amon, once you play those a couple times on real difficulty, it's not the same as everyone, but if you're a bit more of an experienced player, even if you're not an experienced player, you play it enough on your difficulty setting, you're going to get really good at the map right away. And then you play it a couple more times after you're good at it, and then it's not as fun anymore. If they had another 10 co-op missions, plus the additional commanders coming out monthly, holy cow, does that increase your possibilities. It is ridiculous how much more fun you could have if you just constantly had a new mission and a new commander, plus all these different commanders that you can try out and try different strategies with. It would add a ton of fun. So yeah, that's what I think. 10 more co-op missions at least, what we need right now, and then an additional one once per month. And they did something really good a while back, is they allowed it to the public. They had a player actually create a co-op mission for Blizzard. A bunch of players create co-op missions and co-op mission ideas, and they presented it, and then whoever had the best one, which it got voted on by players, then that one would be the next co-op mission. Well, I think they need to do that more often. If they started doing that on a regular basis, they could just once per month have a bunch of different people creating co-op missions. I mean, this could just be something extra. I mean, the StarCraft, the Blizzard team could, on their own, be making these missions at the same time, but it would be a lot more player involvement, and it would just be additional help to help them get it done and get more missions pumped out. I just think that would be a great idea. So those are my points that I think could help StarCraft 2 co-op missions survive. If you think that my points are correct, or if you have, different opinion than me, leave a comment in the comment section. I want to know what you think. Tell me what you think. Tell me your views. If you completely disagree with me, tell me that too. And make sure to share this with your friends. I want a lot of people to hear about this, hear about my points. None of these ideas are mine, of course, because I don't own the game. I just want StarCraft 2 co-op mission to last longer, and I want it to be more popular. I want more attention on the game, and it'll just be better for everyone. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Leave a like if you liked the video, and thank you everyone for watching.